Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here. I thought something was wrong with the way it was set up, but as you can see, this is another Xbox 360 game. This is going to be MLB 2K7. I had to make sure I said the number right, and there it is. Yep, there's your proof. This is actually a pretty good baseball game. This is one of my favorites in the MLB 2K series. Now, they did have games like in the beginning, like with the Sega Dreamcast, like World Series Baseball 2K1 and World Series Baseball 2K2. Now, both of those games were pretty hard, unfortunately. I really liked the first one, 2K1. 2K2, I thought was extremely hard. You know, it hit the ball and the graphics weren't really the best. I mean, the gameplay I thought for the 2K1 was much better. Then they had Major League Baseball 2K something. Well, I think it was still called World Series Baseball, and Jason Giambi was on the cover a couple times, I think, for 2003 and 2004, something like that. And Pedro Martinez was on the cover for 2K1 and 2K2, and I had to turn the music off of here, of course. Don't want any copyrights. So, as you can see, I'm scrolling through the teams on here, like showing you all the teams that we have, like all the players that are pretty much in this game, and like some of them are in MLB The Show right now, and some of them are not. I mean, there's a bunch on here that I could pretty much name that are on here. I mean, a good amount of them, you know, are probably not in MLB The Show, and they should be. I mean, I don't have the new MLB The Show 25 right now, unfortunately, because, well, I'm going through a little bit of some money issues right now. I mean, I was unfortunately out of a job, too, for a couple of months, and I'm still in the swing of a job that I have right now. So right now, you know, I just don't really have the funds, you know, to do that. I mean, I will probably get an Xbox Series X when I file my taxes, and if I get anything back. I probably won't, but I really wish I would. But anyway, scroll through the rosters here. So for the Cincinnati Reds, as you see, we got Ryan Friel, rest in peace. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't remember exactly what happened. I want to say it was suicide or something. I thought I heard, or I don't really want to say that, but I'll look it up like really quickly, and it'll tell me what happened to him. But I'm unfortunately sure that was what happened to him, because I remember he did play for the Orioles, I think in 2011, but no, it was 2009 he was with us, but yeah, unfortunately it was, but that's sad, the players, got to do that kind of stuff, that's really a rarity, for that sort of thing, but I remember there was an Oriole pitcher, his name was Steve Beckler, back in 2002, he pitched for Baltimore, but when we got to like 2003, I think it was, or one of them years, I think it was 2003, because he pitched for the Orioles in 2002. In 2003, he was pitching spring training, and he unfortunately passed because he had not eaten in a while, and he was trying to lose weight, which was a very stupid thing to do, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but that's not really what you do. He was only 23. He pitched in a few games of Baltimore in 2002, and unfortunately, he just, unfortunately, was trying to lose weight, like I said, and he just, unfortunately, was not eating either. So, yeah, but, yeah, he probably was one of them pitchers, that probably would have been pretty successful for Baltimore, but then again, maybe not, but that's very sad, them kind of things happen in baseball. But anyway, we also got Adam Dunn on here. He was hitting 40 home runs and 92 RBIs in 2006, but look at that. He batted .234, which is awful because he struck out 194 times. Then we got Jeff Conine, a former Baltimore Oriole. He was with Baltimore in 2006 because he has an Orioles hat on, but he was traded from the Orioles to the, I believe it was the Mets or something like that. I don't really remember who he was with. I mean, I think it was, I think he was traded to the Mets that year. I mean, I'm sorry I keep going to Wikipedia to see what team he was with. I just do that, just to look one here and it'll tell me. All right, it was the Phillies, actually. Okay, so it was my first guess. So, all right. But yeah, he had a really good career. He really did. I mean, just a shame, he did not, stay with Baltimore in 2006. But they only signed him to a one-year deal. But he was with Baltimore from 1999 to 2003, and then he also had 10 years with the Marlins, and I think he played for the Mets a little bit, and the Reds, and the Royals as well. So yeah. Then we got Ken Griffey Jr., and unfortunately Ken Griffey was struggling with Cincinnati. As you see, he only played in 109 games instead of like 150 or 160, but he slugged 27 homers and 72 RBIs, but he batted .252, struck out 78 times, and as you see, 563 career home runs at that time with 2,412 career hits. He doesn't have 3,000 career hits, but he probably would have if he had stayed healthy in Cincinnati, but he did not. And that wound up being a pretty bad trade for Seattle. They traded Ken Griffey Jr. in the year of 2000 to the Cincinnati Reds for Mike Cameron and a few other players. Mike Cameron had an all-star season in 2001 with them, but Ken Griffey Jr. was not an all-star because he was injured from 2001 to 2006 pretty much. He was an all-star in 2007 with Cincinnati when the game was in San Francisco, but after that he just battled more injuries, unfortunately. He was a Chicago White Sox, I think, in 2008, and I think he was in the postseason as well. Then he returned to Seattle in 2009 and 2010, and he retired after that. He should have been a unanimous Hall of Famer. He should have gotten 100%. There's a bunch of others that should have got 100% too, like, I think Cal Ripken personally should have got in, so should have Hank Aaron back in the day and Willie Mays, but unfortunately they did not. The only one that did was Mariano Rivera. I mean, that's pretty much all right, but there's more people, that really should have gotten it too. But anyway, of course, Ken Griffey Jr. would slug more home runs. He hit over 600. But anyway, we got a young Josh Hamilton there on the squad, and of course, I remember a good amount of these players. I'm not going to go through the whole roster. I mean, I might, but I do have to get ready for work. I got to leave like around 11. It's close to 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And we got a young Edwin Encarnacion, who is a killer, unfortunately, against the Baltimore Orioles. And he also played for Cleveland and Toronto, as I mentioned. And I don't remember who else. And he got Brandon Phillips. I don't see Joey Votto on here, so Votto must have still been in the minors. He probably was called up in about a couple more years. And the pitchers there, you see Bronson Arroyo with that high leg kick. And a few others there too. Now, we'll go over to Baltimore because I'll get them out of the way. So as you see, the roster that they had in 2000, well, these are the stats from the 2006 season. Here we have Miguel Tejada, who hit 214 hits and had 24 homers and 100 RBIs. He had 150 in 2004. He was not an MVP. It went to somebody else. I forgot who it was. I don't think it was David Ortiz. No, it was Vladimir Guerrero, the guy that the Orioles really wanted to have on their squad, and he's actually in the game, and he's right there. It doesn't have his stats that year from 2004, but he put up really good numbers, and he did in 2006. He had 200 hits. He batted .329 with 33 homers and 116 RBIs. I don't remember who won the MVP in 2006. Hey, Siri. Who won the baseball MVP award in 2006? Oh, he won it for the National League. Okay. And Daisuke Matsuzaka won something in the Japan pitching thing. Hey, Siri. Who won the American League MVP in 2006? Hey, Siri. Who won the 2006 MLB MVP? Yeah, We know it was Ryan Howard, but who won it for? Sometimes Siri, gives me a headache. 2006 American League MVP winner. I'm going to take a guess, before I look at it. Because my phone's that way and I'm not looking. American League. I'm going to say Manny Ramirez. That's wrong. Oh, it was Justin Morneau. Okay, wow. I forgot about that guy. Sometimes I do them on Sporkle. So, Justin Morneau, looking for where he is. I know he's in here. Way on the bottom. Alright, so he had 190 hits, batted .321 with 34 homers and 130 RBIs. That's not bad, actually, but some other players, I think, in the American League had a little bit of better stats as well, too. Wow, David Newhan, a former Baltimore Oriole. I remember that guy. And you got Carlos Beltran. He has returned to MLB The Show, which is pretty good, but I'm going to try and get it for Xbox Series X. Then you got the Yankees, the Stankies, the Wankies, yeah. Derek Jeter, who had 214 hits and batted .343 with 14 homers and 97 RBIs. And honestly, I don't think Derek Jeter ever won an MVP. Yeah, that's a pretty good batting average, too. I'm pretty sure people were disappointed he did not win MVP. There's Bobby Abreu, had some pretty good stats too, with 15 homers, 107 RBIs, but only 15 homers though, which is very low because usually you hit more than that. There's Alex Rodriguez, 166 hits, 154 games, 290 average. I think he won the MVP award in 2007, but 35 homers, 121 RBIs, 464 career home runs at this time, but unfortunately he will not be in the Hall of Fame because of the fact that he admitted he used steroids. So anytime you do that, yep, your chances of going to the Hall of Fame is very difficult. And there's Jason Giambi. I think he got written up in like one of those scandals or something like that. I can't really remember. And we got the Oakland Athletics. Of course, they're just the Athletics now. I mean, they're still in California. I mean, this guy's not really a real player. This is a thing. I just take the players that are not real and stuff, and I put like the real players on here. Yeah, because they have like a lot of players on here that are like not, real players. Here we got Mike Piazza on the team. We got 3 catchers though: Jason Kendall and Adam Melhuse. Probably got to send him down because you don't really need 3 catchers. Put another player on the roster here, but I don't know. Because I know some of these players are real, but I don't know. Kenny Crosby, don't think he is. Antonio Perez, let's put him on there. Yeah, Mike Piazza, who spent many seasons with the Los Angeles Dodgers and New York Mets. Also did play for the Padres, and he was a Marlin, a Florida Marlin, for like a couple of days. He was traded to them, I think, in 1998, and then he went to the New York Mets. Kind of strange, but it is true. And Bobby Crosby, not the YouTuber Dodger Films. This is the guy who won the 2004 Rookie of the Year award, I believe. And after that, his stats kind of went down because I think he was injured a lot. And their pitchers, too, Justin Dukeshire, who was almost an Oriole in 2011, I think. Then I'm looking for some of them are not on here, actually, but I'm looking for Barry Zito, but I think Barry Zito is with the Giants. I'm pretty sure he is. Here's a couple of former Orioles, Russ Ortiz and Steve Klein. Both of them were terrible, unfortunately. Like Russ Ortiz had a couple of good games with Baltimore, and Steve Klein, he was terrible in 2005. He wasn't with Baltimore in 2006. He was somewhere else. Did a little bit better with the team he was with. And there's Barry Zito, as you see, as he joins the San Francisco Giants for the first time. And, of course, you can, go into here and you can, fix their stats and, their average and stuff and his strikeouts. All this kind of stuff. His stamina stats, as you see, this thing. And the pitches that he throws, fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, or you can give him a sinker or eephus pitch he also has. They have on here on the splitter, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, on there. bunch of other people that I remember. Armando Benitez, a former Baltimore Oriole. But here's probably the one you're looking at, and that is this. Yep. This is Barry Bonds. Well, of course, it's not his name. It just says Joe Young, because unfortunately they did not have the rights to Barry Bonds' name because of the fact, with Barry Bonds hitting all them home runs, he pretty much did not have the name because of the fact that they couldn't use it. I'm trying to look for like the right bat, that he usually uses. I would pretty much do that a lot of times too. Just make it look like the way they bat, because I'd be like, he never used a pine bat or a white bat. But yeah, Dave Roberts, who is the current manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers. We got Benji Molina, also had Jose Molina and Yadier Molina. Yep. Of course, like how Cal Ripken and Billy Ripken, played baseball, and Cal Ripken Sr. was the manager in 1987 and 88, and then was a coach as well, too, for them. Ryan Klesko, I remember that guy very well. We already looked at the pitchers for them. Chris Ritzma, I think he was a pitcher for the Orioles. Well, he's got an Oriole hat on, or something like that. There's Ichiro Suzuki, but he just put it as just Ichiro. And this time, then you got other people, Raul Ibanez, and you got Adrian Beltre, who was just elected to the Hall of Fame last year. Richie Sexson, who was a very tall player and hit some good home runs. Jeff Weaver, he is the older brother of Jared Weaver, and I think he's also in the game as well, too. I think Jared Weaver was pitching. There he is. Jared Weaver had a no-hitter in 2012. Jeff Weaver never did, but they did pitch together. Actually, I think they pitched for a different team. I think at that time, Jared Weaver was pitching for the Los Angeles Angels, and Jeff was pitching for the Dodgers. Yep. Zach Greinke there, who was kind of starting out with the Kansas City Royals, and I think he won the Cy Young in 2009. I don't know how old he was. There it is. He was 23 at this time, yeah, and he pitched for at least about probably 14 more years, something like that. Yep. Other people like in the game, like Alex Gordon, I remember him. He was a very good player for Kansas City. Mike Sweeney, another good player. Then you got the Houston Astros. You got Lance Berkman, who's now in MLB The Show. Luke Scott, who actually joined the Orioles after the 2007 season when the Orioles traded Miguel Tejada. He was acquired to Baltimore. It wound up being a pretty decent trade, but Tejada did do pretty well with Houston. Craig Biggio, who at this time had 2,930 hits and needed 70 for the big 3,000, and he was, of course, elected to the Hall of Fame. Other pitchers, Brad Lidge. I think they should put him in MLB The Show. Roy Oswalt, he's in MLB The Show. Jason Jennings and Trevor Miller. Dave Barkowski, he wound up being an Oriole. He was acquired to the Orioles. And Matt Albers, but he's not featured on here. The Florida Marlins, who are now the Miami Marlins. You got Dontrell Willis with that interesting delivery. The pitches that he throws. Matt Lindstrom, who was an Oriole in 2012. Josh Johnson, who had a few good seasons, but then after that, the injuries just never really stayed away. Kevin Gregg, who was an Oriole in 2011. Me and my friend Jonathan, one of my Oriole fans, it's like our favorite pitcher, but he really isn't. It's just a joke, pretty much. But here's Jorge Julio. He was an Oriole from 2001, I think, to 2004, because he lost the closer role to B.J. Ryan. And B.J. Ryan is actually with the Toronto Blue Jays because the Orioles lost him in free agency, and B.J. Ryan joined the Blue Jays in 2006. Had 38 saves and a 1.37 ERA and struck out 86. That's actually pretty good. Unfortunately, the Orioles did not keep him, and they really should have. And Ryan just throws a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. And there's the late Roy Halladay, rest in peace. Oops. And And his pitches there, fastball, sinker, 12-6 curve, changeup, and cutter. And, of course, he's in MLB The Show. I haven't seen him yet, though. I don't know if he's in the game this year. He probably will. Gustavo Chacin. I don't know why I remember that name, but I do. Josh Towers. He was a former Oriole. I was looking at the wrong person. Jason Frazier. I remember him. Tomo Oka. Jeremy Accardo, who was an Oriole in 2011. A.J. Burnett. He certainly looks thrilled to be joining the Blue Jays. Now the players. Matt Stairs, pretty underrated player. Vernon Wells, who needs to be in MLB The Show. Greg Zaun, who was an Oriole but rejoined him in 2009. Troy Gloss, who had a good swing. Batted .252 with 38 homers, which is not great. .252 is a very low average. Frank Thomas, the big hurt, with 39 homers and batted .270 with Oakland. Pretty good stats there. Walked 81 times and struck out 81 times. He is also a Hall of Famer, too. Yep, he definitely deserved it. And because of his body size, he never got in trouble with any kind of things that he did. I think, he just worked out a lot, and he never really, got in trouble for steroids or HGH or any other things, people did, And thank goodness he didn't, because I was afraid, over these years that he would, but he never did. Ryan Zimmerman, good player for the Washington Nationals, and this is only the second year the Nationals were a team. Well, actually third, because these stats are from 2006. They became a team in 2005, and then 2006 and 2007. So yeah, this is their third year. In 2008, they got a new stadium, the Nationals Park. Then we got Chad Cordero, who was a good closer for them. He saved 29 of them out of 33, which is pretty good. John Patterson, pitcher that I remember. Sean Hill and Jerome Williams. Yep. Steven Strasburg is not here because he didn't join him until 2010. Then you got the free agents, like a bunch of pitchers in here. Most of them are fake, but Rick Bauer, who was a former Oriole, a few others, and the hitters as well, like these names like Jim Baker, but again, it's not really a real person, just a bunch of other people that didn't really play for anybody in 2006, but they did play for a team, but mostly they probably played overseas, like for a different team, somewhere else. Tony Clark, who was a good Detroit Tiger, always called him Tony the Tiger Clark. And the pitchers, and here we have Randy Johnson, who rejoined the Arizona Diamondbacks after being with the Yankees in 2006. He was 17-11 and pitched a lot of innings, but his ERA was 5. Struck out 172, which is pretty good. Then Brandon Webb, who had a pretty good season for Arizona, didn't win the Cy Young. He was 16-8, and ERA was 3.10. Yep. And hitters on here, there's Eric Burns, who I think was an Oriole in 2005, I think. But he did pretty well in 2006 with Arizona, it looks like, with 26 homers and 79 RBIs and batted .267. I mean, that's not bad. Yep. Connor Jackson, I remember that name. I think the Orioles tried to sign him. Edgar Renteria, a pretty good player. And Andrew Jones on the roster there. Also got Chipper Jones. A lot of people think Andrew Jones should be in the Hall of Fame. Well, people, you need to look at his average. His career batting average is very bad. And here it's .267. I think years after this, it dropped down to like .250 something. If his career average was like .270 or higher, he would definitely be in. Chipper Jones, who of course is a Hall of Famer, but his average is way higher than Andrew Jones. Yep. I think Andrew Jones, though, hit more home runs than Chipper. On the pitchers for them, John Smoltz, who I think returned to the rotation around 2004 or something, or 2005, after he was a closer for many years. And Tim Hudson, who was a Oakland Athletic for many years. And you also got a few others. Well, Tom Glavine is not on here. I think he's with the New York Mets. I'm pretty sure he is. Yep, there he is. He did pretty well with them. I mean, he really did. I thought Pedro Martinez is on here, but I think... Pedro Martinez is not... Oh, there he is. He's somehow in the minors. Okay, well, let me see if I can put him, like, on here for a pitcher, maybe. Got Orlando Hernandez and Oliver Perez. We got John Maine. I don't really think he was, like, in the rotation that much. But, so I'm probably going to put him on there. Or Pedro might have been hurt, though, in 2007. I can't really remember. He was 9-8 with the Mets with a 4.48 ERA and struck out 137. So, I don't know. I mean, he must have been, like, hurt, I guess, or something. Sean Green, pretty good player. I thought Carlos Delgado was on the Mets. There he is. Yep. A guy that probably should be a Hall of Famer. I mean, his career average at that time was pretty good, but I don't know. I don't really know how many hits he had or career, but here we got Julio Franco at the age of 48. Yeah, a 48-year-old person playing in the majors. That's pretty crazy. You would think somebody like him would be in the Hall of Fame, but actually he is not. He really should, actually. 2,566 career hits, 117 career homers there. He wasn't really a home run hitter, but his average is 299 at this time. Yeah, very surprising, he's not a Hall of Famer. And, of course, now for the Orioles, so I know I was going to be talking about them. Jay Gibbons, who had some pretty good seasons with us. I had to put Howie Clark on here because of the fact that we had a fake player. They do that a lot of times. They do it with MVP baseball as well, too, and I think All-Star baseball. Jay Payton, who played for Oakland and Colorado, I think. A few others. Corey Patterson, who joined the Orioles in 2006. Good base stealer. He stole 45. Nick Markakis, who pretty much was starting out in 2006 with Baltimore, but he had pretty good seasons. If he had stayed healthy with Atlanta, he probably would have gotten 3,000 hits. Ramon Hernandez, who entered his second season with us after Javi Lopez left us. He's a free agent in the game. Aubrey Huff, who called the city of Baltimore a, quote, horseshit town. I don't mean to repeat that, but it's true. He did do that. And I lost a lot of respect for him. Brian Roberts, even though Brian Roberts did play for the Yankees in 2014, but I still, like Brian Roberts. Some people will probably turn around and say, no, I have no respect for him. He's a traitor. Well, you're a traitor, if you disrespect, players like that. And they'll probably say, no, that's not true. I'm like, well, if you're going to be disrespectful to Mike Mussina because of him, leaving Baltimore and going to New York, that's your problem, but a true Oriole fan would still respect them, for the years that they had. Like Mike Mussina pitched from 1991 to 2000 for Baltimore. He never won a Cy Young Award. He was a 5-time All-Star with Baltimore in 1992, 1993, and 1994. Should have been in 1995, but he was in 1997 and 1999. And he won 20 games with the Yankees once in 2008. He retired after 2009, I think. Yeah, he did. He went to the World Series twice with the Yankees, but he was in the postseason 2 times at Baltimore. Could have been in the postseason if the Orioles had, done well in 1992 and 1993 had it not been for those damn Toronto Blue Jays. And maybe 1994 if the baseball strike didn't happen. But yeah, let's see. And of course, Steve Traxel, who really shouldn't have been an Oriole. He was terrible. Scott Williamson, who won a Rookie of the Year award in the National League, and Adam Lowen, who actually was a pretty good lefty, but the injuries, unfortunately, just would not stay away. And then he went to play the outfield. He did pretty well in the outfield, but then he returned to pitcher. Some other people like Cindy Royale, Sean Tracy, and John Parrish. Kurt Berkins, I remember him. Chris Benson, who was an Oriole in 2006, but I don't think he was in 2007. I think he was hurt, or the Orioles might have released him. I don't remember. Danny Baez, who joined the Orioles in 2007. He was a closer, I think, for Tampa Bay and a few others. Daniel Cabrera, who was flirting with a no-hitter, I think, in 2006 against the Yankees, but he lost it from a single from Robinson Cano. Hayden Penn, who was supposed to be a pretty good pitcher for us, but he couldn't stay healthy. Chris Ray, who was a pretty good closer, actually, for us. Had 33 saves out of 38. He blew 5 of them, which is a little bit up there, but it's not bad. Jarrett Wright, who pitched for the Cleveland Indians and the New York Yankees. He wound up joining the Orioles this year, but he did terrible, honestly. Chad Bradford, who's like a submarine pitcher. And Jeremy Guthrie, who came over like in a trade, I think, or something like that, or was claimed off waivers, something like that. But anyway, let's stop talking, because we're up to like 30 minutes, and it's, unfortunately, I got to get, ready pretty soon, but probably just going to do like a little bit of a game. I think we'll just leave, the stuff as it is, and, there'll be rain delays and all that stuff. They don't even have that anymore. They really do not. Okay, so choose the Orioles. We'll try and maybe like get into a game, we're only gonna probably play just a little bit of it though. The thing is, we play the Minnesota Twins. We lost that one. I'm looking for a game to simulate to, something we could play, probably against Toronto. Not having a good season so far. Yeah, we won that one. Now we got... might do this one. Okay, we're going to play a Saturday game. It's going to be Adam Lowen against Tomo Oka. And, of course, got the alternate jerseys and the cool base ones, the batting practice jerseys, the 1971 home uniforms, the 1944 ones when they were the St. Louis Browns, actually. And the 1910 jerseys in 1952. This one is locked. I don't know how you unlock it, but it doesn't really matter. All right. Now the, oh shoot, I forgot to put Melvin Moore in the game. That's all right. All right, so April 21st, 2007.
It is time for a
Here we go.
matinee.
As you see, the way Camden Yards looks at that time is a little bit different. It's a little bit of a cloudy day. It looks like it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's concession stands. Yeah. Jeannie is Alaska, I think this girl is. That's doing the talking.
Years in Japan Central League before making his major league debut with the Red Sox in 1999. In 2005, he was an 11-game winner in a season.
Little blimp up there, 2K Sports, as it says. They don't really have very many blimps, in the city of Baltimore. And as you can see, not a big, huge crowd, of course.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller.
We have John Miller and Joe Morgan doing the commentary. Sorry, my camera's blocking the names, but
Almost ready to go. And just very
yep.
quickly, what do you think about
As you see, the crowd definitely looks excited to watch some Orioles baseball, but at this time Baltimore was really struggling, and we're struggling in this game too. We're like 6 or 7 games under 500. Adam Lowen so far 1-2 on the year with 14 strikeouts, 8 walks, but has an ERA close to 10. Okay, so let's see how we do this. I haven't used this pitching thing in a while, so it's calling for a fastball. Oh my God, don't do this now, controller. Please stop. I gotta get batteries. Right, ground ball to Roberts, and gets it. There we go. I don't know why the first baseman was ducking. Lyle Overbay in the leadoff spot. Alex Rios, Troy Gloss, Frank Thomas, Vernon Wells, Matt Stairs, Jason Phillips, Aaron Hill, and Russ Adams, I think. Let me see if I can fix the pitching. Where's the pitching thing at? If I can, I know it's around here. I know it is. The difficulty? No, that's not it. Is it presentation? I think it is. That's still not it. Alright, I'm trying to figure out how to change the pitching on here because of the fact I don't like the way that it is. Is it this one? I think it is. There we go. Alright, is it zone? It might be that one. Alright, let's try it now. Yes, this is it. Alright, perfect. Alright. Yeah, 'cause this one's, you know, a lot better to use. Oh my. Okay, I'm getting angry. Oh shoot.
First pitch to him.
Controller. Uh-oh. Alright, I think
This one's hit
Peyton's
pretty
got
well
this.
deep
Yeah.
left center
He's
field.
under it. Woo. Barely.
Peyton glides over
Don't do
and
that.
catch for the out.
Okay. And there's defense. I tried to put Melvin Mora over at third base, but instead it's Howie Clark. I guess Melvin's got like a little bit of an injury. Okay. Here we go.
Base is empty, two down
Call
here.
for that right there. Okay. All right. Hold on a sec, folks.
Here's the pitch.
All right, here we go.
First
Never mind.
zone for
All right,
ball
well, it's
one.
probably gonna like keep doing it, unfortunately, but I'm trying. You know, like I'm probably gonna have to get like a wired controller. Probably have to order it on Amazon or something. Of course. Yeah. Cut the bullshit, please. This is really making me angry.
Now the 1-0 pitch.
All right, gotta make
Swing and a ground
play,
to
and we
first.
got it. All right.
Gibbons.
All right, well, we
And
got
he'll
3
step out
outs
first, turn
somehow.
side to side.
So we'll be facing Tomo
Now we
Oka.
go to the bottom of inning number 1, and we have no
I remember this guy. I mean, I'm checking the battery level, and it's unfortunately it's at 2 bars, but we're gonna be lucky to get in. Oh my God,
His earned run out.
yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get this in. As now it's just being a real dick, unfortunately. Sorry, and
Average is, shall we say, not quite what it
and I tried to swing, and it wouldn't even let me.
One low and inside, one ball, no
Frickin'
strikes.
thing.
The 1-0 pitch on the way.
Okay, I'm trying to hit, and it won't let me.
Up and away.
Do I gotta like use the analog stick or something?
The 2-0 pitch on the way.
Okay, that's got me using the analog stick. Okay, that sucks. How do we do this again? I think it's not difficulty. Where was it at? Was it controller? I think it was, yeah. The batting, yeah, it's on swing stick, of course. Yeah. What the hell? Alright. So let's try and be able to
2 balls and
get a
strike.
hit.
Here's the next pitch from Oka.
Ah. Yeah, I think like if you try and find a pitch or something. Ah.
Roberts swings and misses.
Yeah, I know I swung really late on that one, but I haven't played this in a while. We got Brian Roberts, Howie Clark, Miguel Tejada, Ramon Hernandez, Aubrey Huff, Nick Markakis, Jay Gibbons, Corey Patterson, and Jay Payton.
Nobody on base with 1 out.
Here we go.
Kicks, he throws.
A little ground ball, but it won't be that much, though.
Up the middle.
All right.
Adams on to first for out number 2.
Yeah, we got 1 bar, unfortunately, so
And then fires to first base.
the umpires there, they're not real, unfortunately, because they're just made-up names. They're not people like John Hirschbeck or Jim Joyce and everybody's favorite Angel Hernandez, but
Swing and a miss on a pitch that hit the dirt. Wow.
give me a pitch to hit.
And the 1-strike pitch by Tomo Oka.
And a little ground ball. Hey, we got a hit.
Ground
All
ball
right.
up the middle. That
Good
one
job,
gets
Tejada.
through and for a base hit.
But I don't think other ones.
And with 2 down, they've got a man aboard.
Larry Barnett is one of them too. Yeah, that's a name I remember. Anyway, here we go. Let's see if Ramon Hernandez can do anything.
In the game.
Or the frickin' controller, messes up again. Spoke too soon. Oh, come on. Get out. No, it's going to be at the wall. Oh, well. Alright, well, that's going to do it. I got to get ready for work, and this game is frustrating me because of the fact the way the controller is. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Hope everybody enjoyed this. So, thank you again for watching this video. Hope everybody enjoyed, hopefully. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, please. Not a bad thing, a good thing. And you all take care, and thank you again for watching.